Might look a bit dark tonight. One of my bulbs is blown. Hi, Paul. So welcome to the Sunday night talk. Oh, thank you, Kari. Yeah, it was a really nice webinar. Hi, Donnie. Had a webinar yesterday and it was super nice. So, yeah, I do this every Sunday night, unless I say otherwise. What's coming up? I have a London meeting on the 10th and 11th of November. I have a 6-day meeting here in Spain. Hi, Keel. And what else? I have a Wednesday night chat group, which is not broadcast, so it's private, but you have to sign up for that. What else? I do one-to-one sessions. If you'd like a one-to-one session with me, just contact me. Yes, and this is a live talk. So to help me, to pay for my time, and also to help me with, with my website and everything like that. I do ask for contributions for this talk. You can either pay through my PayPal, which I will link here, or you can become a patron and help support my talks and everything that way. Okay. This is really the worst message. It's a really unpopular message. It's an unpopular thing, this, because you're never going to get it. You're never going to find it, because what is being attempted, hi Joe, what is being attempted to be spoken of here is that there really is just what is. Hi Paul. There really is just what is. You can't find that. You can't understand it. You can't intellectualize it. I mean, I see plenty of people trying to conceptualize the message, which is the most ridiculous thing. Trying to conceptualize sitting in a room, it's just it's quite funny. This is the most, it's so ordinary, you see, it's so ordinary, because what is recognized is that there really is just sitting in a room happening. There's nothing else going on. This idea of freedom or enlightenment really is just an idea. It's an idea that appears, becomes part of the apparent separate person's story. So it goes looking for this freedom. People are looking for freedom. People are looking for the final solution. Hi, Stephen. Thanks. Hi, Jim. People are looking for the final solution. The human imagines that it is a person, that it's a separate individual who has had a life and who is going to have a life, with all those things within that story. And within that story is my freedom, my freedom. But it's actually really the opposite. Joe, keeping quiet. What would be the point? Hi, Anne. Red, yes, I'm all in red today. I actually have a blanket on me because it's a bit cold. Red blanket. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's looking for the final, the end, when there is no end, when there is no beginning. This is it. Sitting in a room is it. And that's just not sufficient, is it? For the person, it's not sufficient. It's not an experience, it's not a thing. It's looking for a thing. It's looking for getting it, really. It's looking for getting freedom, my peace. This is not about peace. This is not about fixing the person. The person is just a construct. It's just an appearance that happens in the human. It's mind-made, brain-made, and it becomes this whole experience which feels tight and contained in the body. You could call it a psychological condition, but that condition has just basically taken over the whole system, and the person operates within that kind of psychological dream, in a way. It's just a description. Because really, I don't know what anything is. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what this body is, what anything is. There's no meaning for this. Meaning is just another thing. It's just another part of the story. Meaning and purpose, cause and effect, past, present, future. These are all just ideas that are part of the apparent separate reality of the person. So within that story, there's also the story of getting this. Getting this. It's like sitting in a room has some sort of extra add-on that I'm not understanding. She understands it, he understands it, Tony understands it, they get it. No, actually, it's the opposite way around. It's the end of getting, it's the end of understanding, it's the end of knowing. And there's nothing here that doesn't know either. It's the end of all of that, all of those intellectual, conceptual ideas that appear to be a reality. It's the end of that kind of reality. All that's left is really what was already here, so it's not really what's left. What's revealed is that there wasn't anything really here as something. It's always just this movement in this, which doesn't go anywhere, doesn't become anything. It just changes shape and form. It's constantly unfolding, really. It's infinite, it's absolute, it's eternal. It doesn't appear to be coming from anything or going anywhere. There's no sense to be made of it, really. Which is beautiful. It's amazing, really. It's amazing. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So hi Antonio. Yeah, so I am open to discussing this, and yeah, that's it. Hi Kari. Does the sense of self slowly fade as this message is heard repeatedly? That can happen. Yes. Yes. It seems to apparently happen. Yeah. But there's no guarantee because there's no reason for anything happening. You see, if you turn that into a practice, it will just become another form of seeking. If I listen to this message enough, I will disappear. As if there is an I to disappear. There is no I to disappear in the end, really. There wasn't ever anybody. The person always wants to have some sort of hope of getting somewhere. Like if I do this, hi lovely, if I do this, then this might happen. It's always living in the hope of its completion or its fulfillment or its end. One of the awful things that can happen is to have a glimpse, is to have this apparent glimpse, which isn't a glimpse, really. The person sees it as a glimpse because suddenly the apparent person is not there. And then what is here reveals itself as absolutely complete. And then the apparent one comes back and it's like, I had a glimpse. No, you didn't have a glimpse. But it's so frustrating for this construct. It's so frustrating for this construct. Like, I had a glimpse. Nobody had a glimpse. There is no glimpse, really. There's just sometimes there can be that it's just not there, and it's like it just becomes really clear that there is only this, there is only this. There's nothing else. There's no towards. There's no away from. There is no person. I was never real. The I was never real. Hey, Stephen. Ever read the book From Here to Here? Neuroscience apparently has established that there is no possibility of there ever being me. No, I haven't, but I have looked at what's the subject called? Not neuroscience, it's another thing. Metaphysics, not metaphysics, quantum physics. I sometimes watch quantum physics videos because they're really interesting. And, they've looked, they're going, it's still what's happening, but they're going into, the atom and the electron and the quark, and they're finding that there's nothing actually here. There's nothing actually really here that can be substantiated. They're always trying to go in and in and in and in, and there's just nothing, they can't find anything. It's wonderful, because there is nothing here that can be substantiated, really. It's not fixed. There's nothing fixed here. It seems like it's fixed because that's the way it appears to be, but it's not actually fixed at all. Nothing is fixed. They seem to be stuck in that story, apparently. Yeah. They're still looking at it from the sense of the separate person is interpreting it as, it's still interpreted from the separate person, but it's still interesting. But yeah, there is no, they can't find any person, only apparently brain waves. Yeah, which are just more electrons and which are empty. Yeah. Kari, can you say something about what is looking? There is only what is looking when there is a sense that I am looking. Okay, I'm going to answer this. I was distracted by what is possibly somebody who isn't actually interested in this subject. What is look? It's the sense of I am. It's the sense of I am here and I am looking. When that is not there, there is no sense of what is looking. There is no looking. There is just no looking. Only the sense of me has the sense of I am looking. And then there's not even looking. Looking, the idea of looking would have to become like, it's a concept actually. I am looking. You could say, well, the eyes are looking, but so what? So what? There's no one looking at the eyes. There's just something going, I'm looking out the eyes. You remove that, and what's left? It's just, well, whatever's happening. Hi, John. I've lost motivation for awakening. How do I get back motivation? Um, well, what happens is, you see, the person thinks that I am going to awaken, and it just gets constantly dashed on the rocks, doesn't it? It's constantly this failure of awakening just gets constantly crushed, because the idea of awakening is basically contained within a set of concepts. And then how can this apparent person maintain these concepts? It can't. Because awakening concepts are normally to do with one's behavior or one's thought processes or feelings. And this has got nothing to do with thought processes or feelings or behavior. Because really nothing awakens. It's the end of the whole idea of awakening. It's the end of the whole idea of somebody who can awaken. So the motivation gets lost because it just keeps failing. It keeps failing for the person. The person can never awaken. So it's constantly going to fail. So the motivation is lost. But actually there is no choice in it. If John is like thinking, I'm just sick of this whole awakening thing, there's no real choice in that. And if John sort of is back listening to it, then that's what's happening. You see, there is really nobody who's trying to awaken. This is life appearing as an apparent separate individual trying to awaken. But there is no separate individual. The separate individual is really no different from the wall or the floor or anything else that is going on. It's all the one. It's all the one. Hey, Corey. It seems like consciousness gives us a visual something. However, even consciousness seems to be like another concept that is developed. Yes, well, consciousness is it's part of the separate individual, because the separate individual feels as if it's conscious. But I mean, can you even find consciousness? I mean, what even is it? What is it? Nobody even can explain it. But yeah, absolutely. Stephen, then there is only just seeing. There's no looking. I don't know about seeing. There really is just sitting in a room with speaking happening and reading the words. I don't know about seeing. Seeing. It's seeing that Lisa, the life of Lisa was never real, but that's no different from seeing that if you go outside and it's raining. It's like it's really nothing. It's really no big deal. Really, in the end, you know, when it's seen that the person, that Lisa was never real, or you know, the person was never real, it's like it's really no big deal, because then just life just carries on, appearing as it's appearing. Kari, what is seeing? Nothing is seeing. Where is the seeing? What is seeing? Not as in who is seeing, but what even is seeing? Can you find the idea of seeing? Lovely. Lisa, what can help people, ourselves, not to feel lonely? Even spiritual practices offer a sense of community. Can you say something about that? Yeah, this apparent person can feel lonely. Not this, because it's not here. There's no loneliness. Loneliness is loneliness is of the person. I can't really say anything about that, except for maybe go out and make some friends. Yeah. My experience of spiritual community was always disastrous. I always get kicked out. I don't think I've ever been in any kind of spiritual community where I haven't had the boot, ever. Because you can't question the leader or the philosophy or whatever. Yeah, I can't help you with that except for, like, make some friends, go do something. I don't know, join a class. Stephen, what is seeing is wholeness, oneness. What is seeing is wholeness, oneness. What is? I don't know. I mean, that's not how it is. That's not how it is here. I mean, I don't even know how it is here. It's not like anything here. I don't know about that. It's absolutely alive. That's all I can say. It's absolutely alive. Ooh! But that can't be spoken of. That can't be spoken of. I can't call it anything. I can't call it seeing or wholeness, or I don't know. I can't call it anything. Closest I can get to it is the description is it's absolutely alive. I don't know about it either. There's just a sense of it. Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's so indescribable, isn't it? It's like an intelligence, but it's not that there's a separate intelligence. It's just like it's intelligent somehow. But that's such a small word for it. I don't know. It's just alive, absolutely alive, magnificent, and yet totally ordinary. Totally ordinary. The glasses of water, a table, a wall. It's absolutely ordinary. And it's so ironic that it's missed because the person is looking for the extraordinary. It's like the table and the wall is just not good enough. Just not good enough because there's nothing in it for me. There's nothing here for the me at all. Gary, I think it's helpful if you talk about the magnificence, the intelligence that is looking. There is no intelligence that's looking. It's so beyond description. It really is just sitting in a room. But that sitting in a room is a complete mystery. I don't know anything. You can't say that anything's looking or seeing or. Sorry. It's beyond that. Stephen, it's so immediate. It's like you can't call it seeing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's seeing is just like, yeah, just, it's too, you can't call it anything. There's no words. for sitting in a room. There's no words for what is, because it is absolute. Absolute. Not the absolute. It is absolute. Infinite. Boundless. There is no the intelligence. There is no the anything. There is no words for what is. Any description is paltry, really. Stephen, and there's no way a me could be there. Absolutely, there's absolutely no room here for the me. It runs screaming from this, and then goes back into looking and finding in concepts like, well, there must be something seeing, there must be something looking, there must be something that I can understand. There is nothing here to understand. There's nothing here that's understandable. You know, the awareness teaching is such a nice teaching because it's understandable for the person, but it's just another form of the person. Awareness teaching. The problem is that the seeker who does awareness practice is in practice. They're in the practice of imagining that they're awareness, or that there is some sort of disassociated awareness somewhere. That this is awareness. It's like, yeah. It's a kind of an arrogance, really. It's an arrogance to assume that there is a person who knows unassociated awareness, or whatever it's called. The human in this is has no relevance. Lisa has no relevance. Lisa just survives and does what she does, but she's got no relevance in this. There's no relevance anywhere. There's just this aliveness. And it includes the body, but it's not exclusive to the body or the mind. Hi, SS. What about thoughts? Where do they come from? No idea. Apparently the brain. Apparently the brain. I don't know. I guess the brain is the conclusion that everybody's come to. But they're just an appearance in this. They're just an appearance. Where does anything come from? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Where does the table come from? Where did it just appear from? Here it is, it's still appearing. The wall's still appearing. Stephen, it's so hilarious at times. It's extreme arrogance to deny your true me. It's extreme arrogance to deny your true me. Yeah, I thought so. I was thinking, I'm sure he means something else because I know how you write. Can you elaborate on that? Not the little me. Well, there's only one me, and it's a dream. The human dreaming, it's a person. When that dream is no longer operating, there's no anything in terms of um, identification. There's just spontaneity. It's always spontaneous. It's always immediate, spontaneous. Not the dream me. Yeah, I understand what you mean, though I would never use those words because they're kind of big me, little me. There is no me in the end. There's just the construct happening in the human of the me of being somebody, and everybody wants to know what it's like when it's not there. When it's not like anything. It's like sitting in a room doing things, whatever is going on. Yes, there is no me. People have asked me who I am. I'm nobody really. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been asked who I am. Who are you? It's a funny question, isn't it? Who are you? Yeah, I suppose you just got to, like, in day-to-day life, you just kind of have to do the response that works the best. Yeah, they call you by your name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Karimiko. Yeah. And it must be so nice not to have any continuity, every moment fresh. Yeah, yeah, but that's not really considered, if you know what I mean. It's not really considered. It's just really what's just going on. That's all there is. There's no one here going, "Oh, it's so nice. Oh, yeah, it's great." No, it's just normal. It's just whatever seems to be happening. But it's only in considering it, like now, where yeah, it's pretty wonderful, actually. It's wonderful not to be struggling in trying to make myself better. That one day I will get towards this place where I will be okay. See, nothing is okay here. This is why the person can run screaming, ah, because nothing is okay here. This is actually totally insecure for the person because there's nothing that is pinned down. There's no ground here. But when there's no person, it's okay. It's fine. It just is what it is. Not so nice for the individual. No, 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 no. This is not nice for the individual. And not the seeking. The individual is not nice for the individual. So it's always looking, whether it's this, non-duality or spiritual teachings or materialism or looking for love as a completion. When I get there and I find the perfect partner or the perfect house, when I have a child or a dog or whatever, or the great best job, but those things never last. They never have that completion because the idea of completion is part of the dream of the person. And yeah, so different from the false continuity of the me. Yes, 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 that's just can often be uncomfortable. That I need to get there, I need to succeed for be fulfilled. I need to get it. When it's always been right here. It's always right here. But the thing is with the seeker, it's looking for some sort of magical ingredient in what's here. There's something here that I'm not understanding. She's saying something I'm not understanding, and I have to understand it. I'm not saying anything that is here that isn't that's something. Constant stress for the seeker. Yeah, yeah, constant stress for the seeker. Yeah. There was a time in my life, like the person who was earlier about feeling kind of fed up with seeking, that did happen here, and I just gave up the whole thing actually for years. I was like, sick of it, sick of it. So I just gave up on it. Went and had some fun instead. Didn't last. It was all right at the time. It didn't last. Nothing lasts. Lovely. The seeker is sick. Do you mean the seeker is sick? Dolly, Lisa, it seems for me there is relief to let go of the idea of any purpose or meaning in anything. To accept it can't be known by the human. Yeah, there's relief in that, yeah. But if you use it as a practice, you'll just get frustrated. But yeah, it can be a relief. And anyway, you're not really letting go of the idea. There is either a letting go or there isn't, or just yeah, there can be a relief, there can be a relaxation. There can be a relaxation because purpose and meaning is so burdensome, such a burden. I must have a purpose in this life, a greater purpose, a greater meaning. This life must mean something. I must mean something. I must fulfill my purpose and my destiny. First of all, I need to find what that purpose and destiny is. What a chore! What an absolute chore! And I know that because I've been there. That used to happen here. I must find my purpose. I must be a better me. I was yesterday in the webinar. Um, I was recalling something, and it was that before this construct of Lisa suddenly disappeared, there was absolutely no idea that there was such a thing as no person. There was no idea about that. It was such a surprise. It was such a surprise that the idea that there could be no person hadn't even occurred. I'd never heard of it. And even when it disappeared, I didn't really know what was going on. And then it was coming backwards and forwards. And it wasn't till I went to see Tony and he said something about there is no person. There is no person. It's like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. Because the whole idea of there being no person hadn't even crossed my mind. I'd never heard of such a thing. I heard that from Tony. It floored me. No person. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, it was more like it was suddenly recognize what was going on because the person kept dropping away. Not even dropping away. Well, that's a description. It just kept disappearing. The person suddenly wasn't there, and I just didn't even know what was going on because I had no understanding. It's just suddenly it was just like it's just it was suddenly like, uh, what's going on? There's nothing going on. It's just yeah. And it wasn't until Tony said that there's no person that I realized that's what's going on. Yeah. And continuity is so boring every time. Everything loses its aliveness, its freshness, and everything gets conceptualized and solid. When everything is new every moment. Oh, that's a question, sorry. Is that a question? Sounds like a statement. And I would agree with that statement. Stephen, I see that everything I had just done was for nothing. I think you're saying that it was for nothing. Yeah, it was for nothing. It was never going anywhere. Persona is a mask. No, persona is just not true. It's an imagined reality. Yeah, all that seeking, all that doing, all that wanting and trying, and it was all for nothing. Because none of it was true. Wow, it's gone quick. 10 to 9 already. And yeah, maybe a statement just like it when you talk about the newness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's always just this. And here it is. And here it is. And here it is. No sense can be made of any of it. Hi, Nikolai. Is it important to you to do a job which you like or it doesn't matter to you anymore what you do. I'm trying to find a job which I will love, but it seems that I can't feel what I love. Yeah. I don't enjoy doing things I don't enjoy. I mean, it's okay. I find it okay that I don't enjoy it as well. If I don't enjoy it, like I don't really enjoy, what don't I enjoy? Uh, Waiting in airports. But it's okay. The discomfort of that is fine. But I will avoid doing things I don't want to do as much as it is possible. I don't like paying bills. I hate paying bills. Hi, Alison. Yeah, I mean I live on very, very little. So that's how it is here. I do this, which really isn't really an earner. I make art as well. I do the worst jobs in the world for making money. Art and non-duality. But that's all right. That's how it is. There's no choice in it anyway. There seems like there's choice, but there isn't. When there's something happening that I don't really like doing, it's just a movement to steer away from it. But when you need money, it is important how you earn it. Um, it's more like it's more like what is it's just how it is. It's everything happens on its own. There's no decisions that are made. There's no decision. It just happens on its own. So if someone said to me, "Hey, do you want to go and work cleaning cars?" There's probably going to be like, there's no decision in it. It'll just be like nah, you're all right. There's no decision. It's not that it's important. It's just that there'll be a movement. There's like this body is moved towards certain things it likes eating or drinking or listening to music or colors that are worn or you know and there's a movement away. I'm not a big fan of beige. So if I was to go and buy a cardigan, I would avoid the beige section because I don't know why. That's just how it is. So it's neither, but that's not important. It's not important that I prefer one color over another. So it's not important to me how money is earned. There'll just be a natural movement towards or away. But there's nothing that makes that decision. It just happens on its own. It says, is it okay to feel addicted to this message? I don't know why. Yeah, sure. Everything is okay. That's what's happening. That's how life is happening. That's how life is appearing. That is absolutely total and complete. It's absolute, total, and complete. And the sense of the seeker and even the desperation of the seeker is absolutely whole. This is not about getting rid of something or going towards something. This is just speaking about that this is it. So it's natural for you, like eating, drinking, taking a bath, etc. Yes, 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 yes. And, if you find yourself in a job that you're not enjoying, um, there probably will be a physical discomfort, like, oh, I don't really like this job, and yeah, the body just responds to things. Yeah. Thinking, oh, I'm yawning. It's like because it's an hour earlier, so it's usually it's the clocks went back. Other sense of saying there is no decision is a perspective, isn't it? No, there is just isn't a decision. It's not perspective. It's just not there. It's like saying there is no rain falling out of the sky right now in my living room. It's just the case. It's not perspective. It's not a perspective at all. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Something that doesn't happen is not a perspective. Stephen, I would absolutely love not to work, but in order to pay bills, food, eat and etc., work is necessary here, but not for the body brain. Yeah. Well, yeah, I work. I work actually really hard. I do a lot of painting. I work really hard, but I work really hard at something that doesn't pay. Like I answer people's messages for this, and I do this talk. And by the way, please contribute towards my time. I'd be really, really appreciate that. So I do this. I give talks. I write. I'm busy, but it's okay. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's just how it happens. Nikolai, I mean, you don't plan this. Like what? Like I want to be a painter, so I must work hard on this, etc. No, I don't plan it. It's just how it is. Nobody said, right, I'm going to be a painter. No, just painting happens. Painting happens. Stephen, for no one. Yeah, James, pumpkin. Yeah, it's Halloween. No, it's actually Halloween on the 31st, isn't it? I guess people celebrate it at the weekends. Where I come from, it's actually called Hop Tune. Yeah, Hop Tune. It's Hop Tuna Tralale. Hop Tune Tralale. It means the elves are forever, the trolls in the sea. It's a completely different thing, but it's the same time of year and it's the same kind of thing. Except for we used to carve out turnips, not pumpkins. And we used to put bread and milk out for elves and chase the evil spirits through the village and the town or the village. By the end of the night, it used to just smell of burnt turnip. Nice. Where's that from? From the Isle of Man. From the Isle of Man. Yeah, it's full of myth and legend and elves and giants and trolls and witches. Stephen, we have so many holidays here in the USA. Yeah, awesome. Okay, are there any last things before I go? I'll be here same time next week, but I won't be here the week after. Thanks, lovely. Nikolai, I ask because there is some fear that if I don't get a profession, I won't find good work. I don't know. I can't really advise on those things. I just can't. I'm not the person for that. Other son, if you would choose to have free will or no free will, which would you choose? There is no choice. There's no choice. Oh dear. Donnie, thanks so much. I think it a personal thing. Yeah. Paul sounds a bit like the Wicker Man. Yeah, the Isle of Man's very much like the Wicker Man. It's kind of, it's an interesting place. James, oh, I was late for class. Well, just pay back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, Nikolai. Careers advice. Thanks, Stephen. Thank you, Anne. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your questions and joining in. It's been really nice. Have a nice evening or day, wherever you are in the world. And see you next week. Okay, other son, I'm not getting into free will. Let's do that. Well, let's not do that. I'm going. Bye.